Is the Sonos Arc worth it? And if so, do you need to get the Sub Gen 3 and the One SLs for rears? Let's find out. So I'm B, the installer, a 15-year home theater contractor, and generally nice guy. Welcome back to the subscribers, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, go ahead and do that, but make sure to hit the notification bell so you get all the uploads, including the many tech videos where I help you decide to buy or not to buy. Check out my video on the best 4K TV and the individual practical reviews. And if and when you find this video useful, smash the like button and let me know what you think in the comments about Sonos products in general. Behind me is the new Sonos Arc soundbar, the Sub Gen 3, and the Sonos One SL surround sound. I'm going to give you a little overview of this new Sonos Arc, the Sub Gen 3, and the One SLs, and then at the end I'm going to give you a score for the Arc as a standalone soundbar, with the SLs, just with the Sub, and with all three. And I'm going to help you decide if you should buy any of them, and if so, how much and in what order. So I've been around Sonos for many years, and I feel now it's a lot more accessible for your average guy or gal to break into the Sonos lineup. And it's not because it's any less expensive, more just because it's a little more efficient to use. And to be honest, it's still very expensive, but you can now get just a standalone Play One, for example, and throw it in the kitchen or in a bedroom and use it with just an app on your phone. It's one of the best whole home audio systems on the planet. And as far as home theater speakers go, there have been a lot of great speakers. Specifically the Sonos Play Bar that was introduced in 2013, which was $699 to start and was very badass. And you could pair that with the Sub and Play Ones for a 5.1 surround sound. But that Play Bar is quite long in the tooth for 2020 and people demand more. Specifically the optical really doesn't cut it anymore, and Dolby Atmos. So now we have two new soundbars from Sonos. One is the Sonos Beam and the other one is this new Sonos Arc. Again, both soundbars do not come with a dedicated subwoofer, but you can add it. But what makes the Sonos Arc worth $800? First, it's the most complex Sonos speaker ever made. It has 11 speakers inside, including a dedicated center channel, 2 angled tweeters, and 8 different elliptical woofers. Woofers. 2 of those are upward facing and 2 of them come out of the end of the soundbar. Second to the power is this awesome design. And I say second because really the most important thing is how good it works. But the sleek design is different than the Play Bar, and some people have commented that they like the old style of the Play Bar better. But once you see this in person, I think you'll change your mind as it's more in line with the Sonos speakers of 2020. The Sonos Arc is also Smart Assistant enabled. It has 4 microphones on it and it picks up the sound of your voice quite easily. Now it comes disabled, so those of you who don't really want it, you don't have to set it up, but it is a great feature. The Sonos Arc also has Apple AirPlay 2, so those of you who are Apple users, that's a great feature. Get music quickly from your phone to the soundbar with ease. Both the Sonos Arc and the Beam have audio return channel, or enhanced audio return channel, which takes the signal from the HDMI in your TV and sends it directly into the soundbar. The downside is that one HDMI port is your only way to get sound coming from a TV or a source. So you're limited by the technology of your TV. And so I'm gonna get a little more specific on that. So the Sonos Arc can only get that signal from your TV. And if you have an older TV that doesn't have the enhanced audio return channel, then it's very difficult to get the very highest quality sound to the soundbar. Now, if you have a newer TV in the 2019 or 2020 and it has an eARC port, then it's more easy to get the very high-end true Dolby HD. When you're looking on the Sonos app, you can see right there it says either Dolby Atmos or it doesn't. So you can tell which kind of sound is getting to your Arc. And for those things that do offer Dolby Atmos, it's pretty amazing. So how does the Sonos Arc sound? I have to say that the Sonos Arc is pretty powerful and robust and has a great soundstage. I find it to have much better mids and highs than most soundbars on the market. And it does have solid bass for movies, but it doesn't punch you in the gut when you're listening to music like you might want. Now with that said, it can't possibly have that great a bass, no matter how many woofers you stick inside. But most people will really like the dynamic sound. And for those of you who have neighbors or you're not so concerned with that really deep bass, it's fantastic. And if you have a great TV and you're just trying to find that kind of all-inclusive soundbar to match that great TV, the Sonos Arc is it. And I don't even really know what other soundbars really compete with this one, especially without sub or rears. The Bose 700, for example, is only a 3-channel soundbar, and while it's great and you can pair it with an Acoustimass sub and rears, that only gives you a 5.1 surround sound. So it doesn't really compete on the same level for the same price. And if you want to talk about some of those higher end soundbars that do have the inputs, or they do have the full Dolby Atmos in the one soundbar. Some of those are over $2,000 and they still don't have the whole home wireless, again, like Sonos is known for. And now comes the part of the discussion that many of you may want to hear. How much better can the Sonos Arc get, and is it worth it to get those items? I really want to focus on adding a sub and surrounds for 3 reasons. One is that most soundbars come with the sub and some of them come with surround, so it's a very relevant topic. And 2, if you're comparing this to a surround system with Dolby Atmos, then you're definitely going to have a sub and surround. And finally, I want to know if it's a considerable quality addition, the sub and the rears. And if so, would I get both of them or one of them, or which one would I buy first? I'm going to tell you that now. So I'll start with the Sonos One SLs as surrounds. These 2 speakers are $179 each, or about $360 for the pair. That alone is the cost of a typical soundbar, but these 2 speakers alone sound better than most soundbars do. They're very sleek and they're even great for standalone speakers. They're very easy to pair in the app, and you can adjust the distance, the levels, separately for movies and music. And speaking of music, you can also change the rears to play in full or ambient mode. So if you play them in full, it basically doubles up the power of the Sonos Arc. And if you select ambient mode, then it kind of just gives you that full surround sound. The SLs do not have an upward firing speaker, and some other systems have that in their rears. And when you add these SLs to the Sonos Arc, it's a very nice effect. Again, I'm very happy with the Sonos Arc and its ability to immerse you in sound, but when you add the SLs, you get sound that you didn't even know you missed. A great example is the race scene in the beginning of Ready Player One. Now again, it already sounds fantastic with just the Sonos Arc. With the Sonos One SLs, you get circular motion and motion over the top that you didn't even know you missed. That gives you a true surround sound effort. And another addition you can make is adding the Sub Gen 3 to this system. As with the previous subs, it's got a very unique look. And it's really heavy, so that makes it good, right? No, but seriously, as heavy as it is, it's very cool looking, and it's probably the only sub that I've ever installed that people actually want others to look at. But is it good? It has 2 force-canceling elliptical subwoofers inside that face each other, so there's no rattling, just bass. That's what they say anyways. And before you ask, what does it give you over the Gen 2? So the Gen 3 has increased memory, more processing power, and a new wireless radio. So it would be kind of hard to say, get the new Sonos Arc and then get the old Gen 2 sub. And so Sonos knows that, and it's priced to hurt at $699, which is $100 more than the previous Gen 2. So the big question is, how does it add to the Sonos Arc? Well, this one's pretty easy. The Sonos Gen 3 has a dramatic effect on this system. As I said, the Sonos Arc is a great standalone product, but adding this sub is next level. And I don't want to undersell or oversell, but some people may be on the side that they have neighbors and they don't want to have the big bass. And some people might be in a gigantic room where they want a ton of bass. And so it's kind of hard to tell you exactly what to expect. But in this 300 square foot living room, the sub pounds. It pounds for movies and it pounds for music. And the proof is in the pudding. When you have the Sonos Arc on by itself watching a movie or a scene or music, and then you click on the sub, you can watch everyone turn and look at you and say, wow. Now let's summarize the 3 different products, give them the grade, and prioritize them. So first, in my opinion, the Sonos Arc is worth the $800. I know that's expensive, and I know it may price some people out, but you have to think about it from a competition standpoint and what you're getting. The Sonos Playbar used to be $699 when it came out, and now this Sonos Arc is $800, but it comes with Dolby Atmos, the HDMI eARC, and it has 11 speakers versus just the 5 speakers that come in the Sonos Playbar. And if the Sonos Arc is too expensive and you don't need the Dolby Atmos, then there is the Sonos Beam for $400. This is not a technical grade, but if I gave it a grade relative to other soundbars that are kind of all-in-one in the $300 to $1,000 range, I'd say that the Sonos Arc is about a 9 of 10. But if I had to compare it to a full AV system, I would say it's about a 7 of 10, because it's very good, but it can't get that dramatically low bass, and it isn't the exact same as having 4 downward firing speakers from above. So let's just start with the Sonos Arc at a 7 of 10. So then if I'm going to add the Sonos One SLs, that score of 7 would go to an 8.5 in my opinion. And the reason I say that is because it does give you some extra sounds that you don't know you're missing with regards to full surround sound, and also it does double up the power when playing the music. So it does make the sound for music much more robust. And then removing the SLs and adding the Sub Gen 3, that same 7 score goes up to a 9 in my opinion. With the Sonos Arc and the Sub Gen 3, you get pretty much everything you could need. I mean, it has great surround sound again, solid investment, and if you're already pot committed with Sonos, or if you just really want to get that immersive sound, I recommend getting the Sub Gen 3. And those two products alone is still less than other systems, like the LG SN11 RG, which, as Vincent To has said, lacks that gut punch. And so that'd kind of be like having one of his videos without a perfectly timed, inappropriate, subtle joke.
But we wished LG have supplied longer cables in the first place. Not the first time we've craved for more length.
So if I was going to have to rank this in order of importance, I would definitely say get the Sonos Arc first if it's affordable for you. And many people will be very happy with just the Sonos Arc, especially if you have neighbors on all sides. The next and most important addition would definitely be the Sonos Sub Gen 3. It has a quite hefty price tag, but it does add a dramatic effect to this system. And if you can swing it, I would get the SLs for the rears because it really just brings it home and gives you the full immersive surround sound Dolby Atmos, where you get a lot of noises that you don't even realize you miss without it, and a lot more power for playing music. Could I live without the SLs? Yes, but do I want to? No. So I hope this video has been helpful. Hit me up in the comments if there's any questions or if I missed anything. So if you haven't already, go ahead and smash the like button and make sure to subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and set the notification bell to all so that you don't miss any uploads. And just remember, with my help, you can be the installer.